Do you want to make your opponents crumble to your wrath and have a miserable time playing? Well, this is awesome with Wizard's card Cavern. And this deck tech is my Daretti Scrap Savant CEDH. It's a mean, lean, and artifact slaying machine. So let's get right into it. Who is Daretti Scrap Savant? Well, he is my commander. 3 in a red for a 3 loyalty mono red Planeswalker. He has a +2 ability of discard of up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. This card is so versatile. Because you can discard 1 card, draw 1, you can discard 0, draw 0 just to get the +2 ability, or you could do the full effect of discarding 2 cards and getting 2 cards. It's very versatile in that instance because it can get you in and out of multiple different situations. You can sacrifice, his -2 is sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return target artifact card from the graveyard to the battlefield. That ability is so strong in this deck because you could sacrifice, say, a creature. You could get back a Microsynth Lattice or a Darksteel Forge. And this -10 is a game winner. It is whenever an artifact dies after you get the emblem, return to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. That is amazing. You can do a bunch of stuff with infinite mana, and which I have in this deck, and you guys will see. Then you'll get so much value off of it. There's Daretti. But now let's get into the land base. I run 32 lands. Let's scoot this up out of the way for now. So I run a Great Furnace, Darksteel Citadel, Ghost Quarter for land destruction. These are in here because of artifacts, and they give me colors, and one's indestructible. This to get me more land when I'm in a pinch. Buried Ruin to return artifacts from a graveyard to my hand. Sequestered Stash to get an artifact from a graveyard to the top of my library to draw it. Rogue's Passage makes stuff unblockable. That's always good. Give me a little bit of life gain and get artifacts to my hand. This is just a fun card in general because you can put a card under it, deal 7 damage, and cast it without paying its mana cost. This is one made game before. It's not a must-have, but it is a great card. This Mirror Pool, I can't say enough about this card because it'll copy things and copy creatures and instants and sorceries, and it gives you the colors mana you need as well. Temple is just a god-given card to be in a commander deck. Command Tower, another commander staple, 1 mana of any color of its identity. Then we have Phyrexia's Core. Ooh, this is a good one. It will gain a life, then land destruction again. Cast 7 or greater, and then go get any spell. Colorless creature card you want out of your deck. Shrine of Forsaken Gods, another kind of staple in artifact-based decks. Then 16 mountains, and that concludes our mana base of 32 lands. Let's get right into the next part of the deck. We run 1 Planeswalker. Ugin the Ineffable. You can run more. I've just had very good luck with Ugin the Ineffable. It makes your colorless spells cost 2 less to cast, in which that is most of our deck right there. Or you could use the +1 to exile the top card of your library face down and look at it, and create a 2/2 colorless spirit creature token. When it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to your hand, or just -3 and destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colors. And then for creatures, we have a lot. This is in CMC order. We have a Goblin Welder to bring stuff from a battlefield from the graveyard back to the battlefield, from the battlefield to the graveyard. Dragon Master's Outcast. This is just for value to get 5/5 flying dragon creatures, because typically you do get to 6 lands. Mirror Retriever. There is so much shenanigans you can do with this card. You can kill it as a response to an activated ability to get a different artifact in your yard. And then you can bring another one back as well. So you get double triggers. Or you can do it with another one that says when it dies, kill that one, kill this one, return both back to your hand. Goblin Engineer is just an all-star in this deck because this gets you any artifact. You can put it in the yard when you go to cast Daretti because you can get that back by sacking one of your other artifacts and get that straight to the board. This is just for copying target creature spells, which is still really good. And gaining haste and then sacrificing. I like this. This isn't an all-star in the deck, but it is a very fun card. Scrapyard Recombiner. This is another great one because you can go combo with this and Treasure Keeper, which you're about to see soon. You do that, bring that to your hand, get a trigger off another thing that says when an artifact dies, which we do have some. Then sacrifice that to get something. Burnished Heart, another commander staple. This is what I was talking about with Mirror Retriever because it dies. You can return another one. These two are essentially the same thing, but for 1 mana more for Workshop Assistant. Scrap Trawler. This baby is another all-star. Kind of works like this guy here, but you do it with lesser mana cost. Solemn Simulacrum, another commander staple. This is what I was referring to about. You can get a cast non-land card with converted 3 mana cost or less without paying its mana cost. You do that by sacking this to an ability. It still counts as dying. You go play something for free from the top of your library with mana cost 3 or less. Critical for Forest Master is kind of a given. You can sack 3 of your dinky 1/1 artifacts and get any artifact to the battlefield. You can loop this with an infinite combo that we have built into the deck to get infinite artifacts to the battlefield. Next we have Hoarding Dragon. This will just go get you any artifact and exile it under him. You can kill it and get that artifact to your hand. It's a 4/4 for 5 flying, which is still pretty good. Then we have Thopter Assembly. Yes, gives you Thopter, those dinky 1/1s I was talking about. This is part of it. It's not really part of it, but it is part of it at the same time because you can use these from it. This is also a 5/5 flyer for 6. Still really good in this instance. We got Duplicate, exile a thing, and this is a copy of it. Then Steel Hellkite is destroying its non-land permanent with converted mana cost to X, where X is its controller's dealt damage by Steel Hellkite this turn. You can only do this once each turn, but this will still get rid of permanent easily. And it's a 6 mana 5/5 flyer to give it +1/+0 for 2, which is really good. Now we get to a baby here, Combustible Gearhawk. It enters battlefield. You target opponent. They either have you draw 3 or mill 3. If they do mill 3, they take damage equal to the mana costs of each of those spells. Worm Coil is just a given because it's an artifact. Worm, 6 mana for a 6/6 Death Touch lifelink. That is insanity. It'll die. You create a 3/3 worm and 3/3 colorless worm. So 2 with 1 lifelink and 1 Death Touch. Still really good. Soul of New Phyrexia allows you to get permanents you control even indestructible, or you can exile it if it's died to give everything indestructible. Hellkite Town is a secondary win con. It is part of my cough. Secondary win con, you basically have a ton of artifacts, so you have the thing to win the game right off because you'll have 20 or more artifacts easily with this deck. Mirror Battlesphere is kind of a given in any artifact deck because it's 7 mana for a 4/7. Create 4 1/1 colorless mirror artifacts, and I can tap X of them and give Mirror Battlesphere +X/+0 until end of turn. Oh, we got Pentivus. This is part of an infinite combo with Clock of Omens and Mana Vault. Mana Vault is amazing. With this combo, Pentivus, that you have an infinite Pentavite combo. Platinum Angel allows you to not lose the game. Essentially, it's a last resort win con. Bosch allows you to sack your artifacts and deal damage to their mana cost. Great in this deck because you can get multiple triggers off this. Darksteel Colossus is Blightsteel Colossus' brother. That's all that much I can say. Metalwork Colossus you can typically cast for free. Now let's get into the spell package of things. These are instant sorceries and artifacts for non-creature spells. Vandal Blast is just a yes in any form of mono red deck. Faceless Looting is great in this to turn to your Daretti, get anything back. Gamble, best mono red tutor out there, guaranteed. And this is just to deal some damage so you can control the board a bit. You can overload it for 6 and kill every creature on your opponent's board pretty much. This will get you just about any artifacts that you want, because you can destroy and then reel off the top until you reveal that many artifacts. Anger of the Gods is another great one. It's kind of like a board wipe, but it will also exile it if they were to die. Chain Reaction just kills a ton of stuff. All I can say. It's great. We have Scrap Mastery. It's just kind of like a catch-all thing. You exile all on your board and bring everything from your graveyard back and put all your board to the battlefield. So it's kind of like a swap, kind of like a Goblin Welder effect, but much larger. Then we have here is Everflowing Chalice. This can help you with the turn 2 Daretti. This is not part of it, but this also counts to our artifact count. We do have Mana Crypt. It is proxy, just so you guys know, because why not? I don't have the money for it. Great card, great ramp, helps you turn to your Daretti. Chromatic Star, another great all-star in the deck. You sack it, you get a draw card, or you can get a mana from it, but it also is an artifact for 1 mana. Codex Shredder is just another all-star in this deck because you can mill yourself, and whatever artifact goes in there you can bring back through Daretti's ability and or other abilities within the deck. Here's the Mana Vault. So let's talk about this infinite combo. So, you're going to have Clock of Omens, right? If you have this on the board, Mana Vault and Pentavite, you have essentially, with 2 other artifacts, an infinite combo. A loop, getting infinite mana and then infinite Pentavites, sacking those to get whatever you want back. You can do that to trigger multiple other abilities within the deck. And then if you have something like Chaos Wand on the board, you can do infinite instant sorcery cards out of your opponent's library. And they can't do anything to stop it because it's not a casting anything. Voltaic Key is just kind of like Clock of Omens, but better. Soul Ring, a god given in a commander deck, pretty much. Explorer Scope goes great with Dragon Master's Outcast because you can attack, get a land. Just make sure you are not missing land drops if you get it in your opening hand. This gets you more land when it enters and dies, and it's an artifact, so it's great. Even if you sack, you're getting value. Mind Stone, another great one here because you can sack a draw card or make mana, and it's an artifact as well. Lightning Greaves, kind of a catch-all in Commander. Inker Wellspring, same thing as Magnificent Wellspring, you draw a card when it leaves and enters, and it's an artifact. Pristine Talisman, you make mana and gain life, so you essentially could make infinite mana and infinite life here off that combo as well if you added this into the mix of it. Commander Sphere, another Commander staple. Sculpting Steel comes in any copy of Artifact on the field, so if you have the Microsynth Lattice, Dark Steel, Forge combo, which we do have in this deck, you can target anything. Mirage Mirror copies kind of like Sculpting Steel, but slightly better, because it can become anything. Chaos Wand, infinite cast everybody's instant and sorcery cards in their deck. I just love this card so much. O-Stone, you already know what it is, it blows up everything. Clock of Omens, kind of like the thing I was talking about, you got the infinite combo going with this guy here. Unwinding Clock, this allows you to cast, not cast stuff on other opponent's turn, but untap, so you have responses to just about anything. With the Chaos Wand trigger, you can do it on their turn as well, and annoy the crap out of them to the point where they don't want to play anymore. Neville's Disc, you untap, you have the stuff on your board to protect yourself, and you blow up everything else, including lands. Hedron Archive is ramp, of course. Okay, so the reason this is like this is because I did get ripped off. The guy is sending it to me, though, so it's like this. This is a very versatile card in the deck, to say the least. Sacrifice and gain life, drawing cards, or make a goat. Thrawn Dynamo, another mana ramp spell in here. Give me Vugan's Nexus to prevent people from taking infinite turns, which is a great spell. Alhammer's Archive for card draw and life gain, because that's pretty good. And it's an artifact for 5 mana. It's really good if you recur it from the graveyard. We got Gilded Lotus, some more ramp. Now we have Blinkmoth Urn. This is insanity once you get the combo up and going, because if you have Darksteel Forge, Mycosynth Lattice, ooh, you see that card coming out, don't ya? You know what's coming next. You can get a ton of mana. Then you got Mindslaver. You can take turns on other people's turns for them. You can take control of their turns, which is great. Mycosynth Lattice is a all-star. I say that because it gives everything as an artifact and you can spend any color mana to cast it. Then we have Spine of Saw. It's just a destroy target permanent, and then once it goes to the graveyard, you return it to your hand. You could do infinite recurrences of this and destroy the entire board this way if you wanted to as well. Then we get the namesake for the deck, Darksteel Forge, which gives all your artifacts indestructible. That is a dirty little combo with Mycosynth Lattice and the combos I talked about earlier. This will get you out of a ton of pinches when people have board wipes and stuff like that. It does not protect you from exile, though, which is a bummer. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Daretti Scrap Savant EDH deck tech. CEDH deck tech, I should say. And if you're looking to build this, it is very cheap to build, it is very competitive, and you will have a lot of fun making misery upon your opponents. So with that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on.